Inside these tiny black squares of scrap memory are microscopic wires at 24 karat gold. Today I'm scaling up. I've got 3 kilograms of RAM BGA chips, and we're going to strip, burn, grind, boil, and melt them until only the gold remains. I know there's gold here. Can I get it? Let's find out. So I'm going to use hydrochloric acid to leach the 10 solder balls off the bottom of these chips in this 5-liter beaker. And now through the magic of editing and a few days of soaking, here's this batch ready to go. So I've custom drilled a 5-gallon rinse bucket to wash away the acid. We aren't going to waste anything. I'll reuse this hydrochloric acid until it's fully spent. Because we want to save that acid, I'm going to switch the bottom bucket here before I do any water rinses so we can filter that acid and reuse it. Go ahead now and do 2 or 3 passes over with the power sprayer to rinse the acid off the chips. And then I'll go dump them into the tray underneath and let the sun dry them out so we can continue with the processing. See, all those little solder balls are gone. For the acid, we're going to go ahead and filter that. Will give us a nice clean acid that we'll put into the next batch of chips to remove more solder. All right, time to turn up the heat to about 1200 degrees. I'm going to pyrolyze these chips by heating them up at the furnace where we release the volatiles in the plastic and the epoxy. Flame shooting out, those are the volatile compounds and resins burning off. No smoke, no smell. That's the goal. After 40 minutes at over 1200 degrees, we're left with the brittle charred material ready for the grinder. It's a windy day, so I have to be careful not to let my gold blow away. But let's check, see how much we just lost in the pyrolyzation. Started with 1 kilogram of chips for this sub batch. And after the burn, we are at 873 grams. That's about a 12.5% reduction in junk weight. I've already processed the other 2 kilograms of this batch, and I've had identical results. All right, I'm going to grind these up in 500 gram batches. That's about what the grinder can handle. Then I'm going to sift them with the vibrating sifter through an 80 mesh screen. Anything that's too big is going to go right back into the mill and re-sifted. Both of our chips are ground and sifted. See what was oversized here? Just dump that in the grinder, regrind it, re-sift it, and I think we're going to be good. All right, so we're going to clean out what's left in the sifter. We have a lot of fine powder, about 2,600 grams of powder. About 40 grams were still too big. We'll add that to another batch. But it does appear the wind did not blow things away. It's a bitter cold today, so we're moving the old school gold pan into the garage. I'm using some rinse aid and some water to wet the material first, looking to get to that brownie batter consistency. That'll make things pan well. This powder does not like to absorb water, so getting it pre-wet, make sure it doesn't clump up when we don't lose stuff during the panning process. I start by panning off the light black sludge. Doing this in the pan and then a safety pan allows me to capture any values suspended in it. Once the bulk of the light ash material is gone, I will pan it down the heavier cleaning material to a fraction of what we started with. And we're getting close, getting down just this little bit. You can start to see some of the copper and other metals showing through the ash. So we're just about there. Do one last pan out of our safety pan. There it is, our concentrates. I'm going to dry this up on the hot plate. Get a weight of it. So overall it's 887.5 grams. We'll dump this into our roasting pan, and the container itself is 668. So we're looking at about 220 grams of concentrate. I'm going to incinerate the concentrates by heating them spread out to about 800 to 900 degrees Fahrenheit. This will get rid of any carbon that is left so that it can't steal the gold later. So at this point, we've achieved a 90% volume reduction. I'm now using a big boy magnet and go back and forth and pull out the magnetic fraction that's in here. I'm going to process those separately from the rest because they have just a little bit different properties. Our magnetic and non-magnetic material is separated. The non-magnetic material is about 182 grams out of our 220. And our magnetic material is going to be the rest, which I'm going to assume comes in somewhere around 40 grams. And it does. Next step involves chemical leaching the base metals. For the non-magnetics, we're going to do a dilute nitric acid boil. This will dissolve any copper and other base metals in there. And for magnetic, we have a hydrochloric acid boil going, which will dissolve any irons and steel that might be accompanying along with it. Once the boils are done, we're going to capture our solids in filters. Then I'm going to rinse them several times and get them ready to give us the gold. Our solids are rinsed, ready to go. So we're going to transfer the filters to beakers for Aqua Regia and put them up on the heat. I'm going to put the filter and everything here. The Aqua Regia will dissolve those filters just fine. All right, now for the heavy lifting. Aqua Regia. First, hydrochloric acid will be put into each beaker. Then I'm going to add about 15 milliliters of nitric acid into each one. This is a little too much, but we want to make sure we have enough, and we know we have a lot of base metals in there. And finally, a shot or two of sulfuric acid, which will drop out any lead. It's been cooking for a few hours. Our magnetics, strong positive for gold. Our non-magnetic Stannous test, also a strong positive for gold. So woohoo, I think we have gold in solution. I'm going to use some sulfamic acid to kill off any excess nitric. prior to filtering. This has to be done hot or it won't work, so now's the time to do it. And then we're going to filter these solutions so they're clear, and we're going to drop the gold. I'm using sodium metabisulfite to drop the gold. The gold comes out of solution as a fine brown powder. Looks like dirt. That's our 24 karat treasure. Quick Stannous Chloride test to make sure we have got all of our gold out of solution. That brown color indicates there's something in that solution, but it's not gold. So we're good for that one, and we'll proceed to the other beaker. Stannous Chloride test here. And this one is negative. So we're going to cover these up and let them settle overnight. All right, our gold is settled. Our solution that had the magnetics had a lot of copper in it, but after decanting, you can see there's a nice precipitate on the bottom. After several distilled water washes, hydrochloric oil, and some more washing to clean it up, we have our pure gold powder. Just a quick test to be sure we didn't dissolve any gold in that hydrochloric oil. This yellow solution that washed off of there, negative Stannous test, so there's no gold in there. Let's get rid of some other junk metal. All right, so a little more washing this and we'll move on to the other beaker. Gold in this beaker is finally settled. There was a bit of a battle going between the SO2 gas bubbles and the heavy gold. Saw it floating around in there, but a little heat got them to rise and let the gold drop back down. It's kind of cool to watch. Here's our gold powder ready to melt. Get it in the melt dish and get it over to the torch. Okay, here's our button. It's a bit ugly. I think we had some contamination from the melt dish. It's going to take a little of the purity out of it, but it's still going to be pretty good. Okay, so it looks like we're at 4.67 grams. I'm going to call it 99% pure. I'll take it. Well, that concludes this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for the next refining adventure. As always, questions, comments, and suggestions are welcome. Thanks for watching.